Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Radithya Atharafi Alaidrus and people call me Radith. I'm currently a 10th grade student at SMA Zeda in South Tangerang, Banten, Indonesia. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone who has been involved in getting the opportunity for me to be here and say a few words. As we all know, for the first time ever, Indonesia holds the G20 presidency. The G20 is an international cooperation forum consisting of 20 of the world's biggest economies. It is also a forum with policy coordination in economics and development as its focus. It represents the world's economic and political power. The G20 was formed in 1999 with the aim of discussing policies in order to achieve international financial stabilities. In 2022, Indonesia's G20 presidency will focus on three priority sectors, namely global health architecture, digital transformation, and sustainable energy transition. Indonesia has a vision of a G20 presidency that is beneficial to not only the G20 members, thus increasing inclusiveness in international collaboration and also fostering it. Indonesia has focused on the importance of concrete actions among nations to encourage economic growth and development all around the world. One may ask what the benefits of the presidency would be for Indonesia. Well, it actually has a lot of benefits. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia, it directly impacts the economy by increasing the country's foreign exchange earnings. Previous presidencies of Turkey, Argentina, and Japan have positively impacted their own respective domestic markets. Also, as the chair of the G20, Indonesia can encourage global cooperation and initiate concrete results and concrete solutions in the three priority sectors. So it is a momentum to earn credibility in leading global recovery issues. Focusing on global health architecture, we've all known how the COVID-19 pandemic has negatively affected the global economy. Just to name a few examples, it has caused less production, increased unemployment, closed businesses, and income insecurities. The Recover Together, Recover Stronger theme, emphasized by Indonesia's G20 presidency, emphasized how international cooperation and collaboration are essential in overcoming current conditions, preventing future pandemics, and strengthening global health architecture. Collective work and collaboration among nations are significantly important, given the fact that every nation has different capacities in addressing and handling health issues, and not every nation is capable of handling the issues by themselves. In her opening speech, Indonesia's Minister of Finance, Sri Mulyani Indrawati, said that the G20 must be at the forefront of the process of strengthening global health architecture. It takes a strong commitment and more substantial investment than ever to tackle the current pandemic and mitigate its effects with the mobilization of health resources. One of the issues currently faced and encountered is the gap in prevention, preparedness, and response financing. In that case, the G20 Joint Finance and Health Task Force is expected to discuss modalities for building G20-driven financing facilities, as said in an article posted on the G20 official website. Through the G20 forum, Indonesia looks to make the global health system more inclusive, equitable, and responsive to crisis. As a collective effort, the G20 and several international organizations have agreed to create the Financial Intermediary Fund, or the FIF, to help countries in need to face any pandemic or health crisis in the future. According to Antara News, to date, the G20 has fundraised around $1.2 billion to mobilize the role of the FIF. And in addition to funding, the G20 health ministers also discussed collaboration in sharing data on epidemic and pandemic viruses through the GISAID Plus initiative. It was emphasized that the GISAID Plus is a global surveillance network that helps countries to discuss what the pathogens that have the potential to be the next epidemic, to be the next pandemic, are found anywhere around the globe. After the COVID-19 pandemic, the health security system and global health architecture are now in a huge need to improve, as the world has witnessed the devastating loss of human lives and disturbance in social economic aspects. The concrete steps discussed in the G20 forum are expected to continue encouraging resilient global health architecture in order to face future health crises and especially pandemics. I personally believe that the G20 has to pay more attention to less developed countries in terms of health system and health architecture. Because we all know that most viruses, most epidemics, most pandemics start in less developed countries. Even though, let's say, a pandemic didn't start in a less developed country, the outbreaks in less developed countries are going to be way worse than those of the same virus in more developed countries. And honestly, we can blame nothing other than the hygiene, the health systems, the health architecture, and the health resources in those less developed countries, which I think the G20 members, as the world's biggest economic powers, could collectively solve. Knowing how international collaboration and its significance in the modern world and how the G20 presidency of Indonesia fosters it, the role and significance of Indonesia on the international stage can no longer be doubted. Once again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here, and remember to always recover together, recover stronger. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.